Hello everyone. Welcome to my Adelaide studio. This is the home, the original home of Miss Rose Sister Violet. So yes, we live in Australia. We also have a branch in America, which is very confusing for people because they always say, well, where are you? Well, the truth is we're in two places. We're in Australia and we're in America. So Miss Rose Sister Violet started many years ago, and one of the very first things that we did was we recreated the beautiful millinery flowers that I absolutely have always loved. So as a young girl I used to collect them, and as a young woman I used to collect them. So I would go to the most beautiful stores all over the world, and I would just look for flowers, and I would buy beautiful French flowers, all these incredible millinery flowers that it's just a dying art. I mean, you can still buy them. They're incredibly expensive. The last time I looked, I tried to buy a beautiful rose in Rome, and it was something like 300 euros. It was stunning, absolutely stunning, and I can't reproduce it, but it was 300 euros, so that's what, $600 nearly. So ouch. So what I did years ago is I tried to recreate the many flowers that I'd been collecting over the years from my personal collection, and unfortunately along the way I've lost a lot of them in having them reproduce, but I did replace them with these beautiful Miss Rose Sister Violet velvet flowers. They're very forgiving. You cannot go wrong. Most of the hard work has already been done for you. All of these little roses, rosebuds, forget-me-nots, here are the little rosebuds. They're pretty much perfect, and they are hand cut, handmade, hand dyed, and they're often a mixture of velvet and voile, and it's just organza voile. They're absolutely beautiful, and you can get one flower. I use wire cutters all the time. You'll need that. That's one of the main tools, that and the glue gun. And if you look here, you can actually pull these apart and you have lots of layers. This particular one has 3 layers. So you can use the middle and you can use the other 2, and I'll show you how to do that, how you can incorporate them into your posy. So what I'm going to show you today is how to do our little mini rose posy brooch. And this is a sweetie because this has been always one of our most popular. It also comes in the dark colours as well. We always do 2 palettes, the beautiful pale pastel pinks and creams, and the beautiful rich jeweled colours of the burgundies and the hotter pinks and the purples. And with these you can actually glue them onto shoes, you can make bookmarks out of them. There's so many uses, and I'll show you that as well. So what you start with to create this little posy is 2 leaves. I use the leaves as a background, and let me explain the glue gun. I do this in every workshop because it's probably the most important thing. If you've never used a glue gun before, and I've done lots of hands-on classes where I've worked with women working with this glue gun and they've never handled it before, and we've had a few guns broken because you're all too impatient, you don't wait. So the most important thing with this gun is that it's got to be very hot. You can see I work with a very big trusty glue gun. I don't mess around with the little ones. It doesn't matter. You can have a little one, you can have a big one. I don't even know, some are different heat settings. It won't matter. The whole point with a glue gun, any glue gun, wait till it gets hot. You shouldn't be able to put your hands and keep it on there because it's so hot. The glue comes out through there, through this little nozzle, and you can see my little nozzles had lots of good wear and lots of drops. I'm a bit of a messy gluer, but never mind. I end up with the finished product looking quite professional. So with this nozzle, the hot glue comes out of there like molten lava, and you will burn yourself. So you get really used to working with little tippy fingers lightly. The trick is not to press down too hard on anything you've glued, because as you press, if you glue this leaf to that and then you press your finger on that, as it oozes out, that's where you burn yourself, and you will get a nasty blister, but it will teach you not to do that again because it's really painful. So this wonderful gun, you can see how many uses. So this is my glue gun holder, which a really lovely lady at one of the craft fairs made. Her husband made it for her and she got one made for me. So I love craft fairs. This is what happens. People come and give you presents. They bring us cake, biscuits, glue gun holders. You could wish for more. So I put my glue gun down on that so it nestles, and it's almost like a molten candle, isn't it? So this is how I start. You need a base, and I start with 2 leaves overlapping. and I only work with a little bit of glue at a time. So I just do it front and back, and then I just glue like that so that you have your base. You have a little base, and then you get your flowers. And what I do is that once again I just pull them off like this. The stems have already come off. If they haven't, I just squash them down. This particular flower is beautiful because you can tease it out so it looks very vintage. In fact, they all look really vintage. They're incredible flowers. I'm so proud of them. And so you can make it look a little bit more shabby. And then with my gun, I just put a little bit of glue there, and I hold it down and just wait a little bit. And then you can decide, do you put that flower? Yes, I think I will. I'll put this little carabella next to it. So you're doing sort of a mini brooch, and I just put that there, right next to it, like that. I love rosebuds. They're just like little Brunner or Bruna, never know how to say that, but I love the Brunner flower. And when it flowers, when the rose flowers, it's like all these tight little rosebuds. And then I'm just looking to see where I'm going to put that. Maybe there, or maybe just there. As you can see, I lift petals up, and then I tuck the the flower underneath the petal. I think I'll put it just there. So once again, it's a slippery little thing. Here we go. Make sure you've got a good grip on it. It's okay until it's got glue on it, and then it's not quite so funny. Holding it carefully, I just slip it under there. And so so far that's only 3 flowers. And then you can bring in another colour, this beautiful, beautiful pale blue. The glue will leave spider threads like this, like webs. You just pull that off at the end. And then once again, I'm just working out, I think I might put that there. I keep saying think because there's so many different ways you can add these flowers. If you put a flower in a different position, it makes it look completely different. So that's it so far. And you can work out whether you want another rosebud. Yep, I think I'll put that there. When you get the kit for this, you will get enough flowers to do more than one project. You'd probably be able to do 3, depending on how many flowers you use. And there you go. So I've just done that. And then here in this little hole, I've got a really lovely little sparkly satin rosebud with a little sparkly middle. And you can just add that there for an added bit of... I love glitter. I love glittery anything. I actually like magpies a lot too. I think I have an affinity with them. I'm a bit of a magpie. I collect glitter and old sparkly brooches. That's pretty much it. And then you add a bow. So it's up to you whether you add a big bow. And so you just... This I could have ironed so it was flat. I rather like the very vintage crumpled look about it. When you get your kit, you'll have the bow already done, because there are some people that just can't tie bows no matter what experience they have. I'm just trying to find my sharp scissors. That works. And so with this little bow, I always think bows really add that little finishing touch. They sort of make it look like you know exactly what you're doing. And probably just under there at an angle. You don't want everything stiff and face on. You want it some little bit of a sideways action, so it's like a freshly picked posy from the garden. And they're never perfect. So once again, and there's your little posy. Just like that, it's finished. You can see from this that you could do just 2 flowers. You could do that and that. You could add another little flower. Every composition works well. And so that's another version. That's a burgundy version. So we always give you the choice of a dark or a pale. It always makes me laugh because the best-selling ones are always the pinks and the pink and the cream. And I watch women at craft fairs, I say this in all my workshops, you will spend ages deciding, oh, shall I get the blue? Shall I get the burgundy? Shall I get it? Maybe I should get that. Wonder what I'm going to wear with it. And guess what you always choose? The cream and the pink. And it's so funny to watch. And we just laugh because you go, no, I think I'll get the blue. Maybe I'll get the lavender. Maybe I'll get that one. Oh, you know what? I think I'll just get the pink. And if you're one of those pink loving women, well, you're right up there with the biggest category of all, because I also love pink. There's something about it. Now I'm going to show you other things you can do with this. It's the same principle. It's a little posy, and then we've left the stems on and we've wound string around it. So that's beautiful for a wedding. You can use it, a man can wear that on his jacket. You just pull away these little threads of glue. There's a lovely dark one there. But imagine that on an old stack of books. You could get a really lovely collection, you know, those beautiful books with vintage covers, and then you tie a beautiful old ribbon and a bow on top of the stack of books, and you add this little posy of flowers. It's very vintage and stunning. You can extend it like this so that you've got the flat satin bow and bits of lace. What I also do is I often tie bows of old vintage laces, narrow, wide, it doesn't really matter. They look stunning in one. So you can see that there's a really beautiful old French lace there and a velvet ribbon, and I've got a little clip on the back, so it can be a brooch, it can go into your hair. These look amazing on shoes, so we sell a lot of these, and we do doubles, so they're exactly the same, and you can just pop them onto shoes, and that's a really effective way. And you can make a bookmark. So somewhere here, I'm always losing things. Where did it? Oh, here it is. So this is a lovely grosgrain ribbon. It can be satin, it can be velvet, and then you can pop your little posy on there, and it can be a bookmark. And so you put that through the book, and then that just hangs. And that's actually a really gorgeous special bookmark as well. And you can do it in any colour. You can do it in the dark. You can even clip it straight onto the bookmark like this, so that actually that's a great bookmark as well. So you can put that straight onto a page like this. Straight on. That's your bookmark. You can just leave the book open, or if you want to do this, you've got your bookmark and then the posies there, which looks really beautiful too. You can do it a little bit longer, and that's a great bookmark. So this little posy brooch and the kit that comes with it will give you enough flowers for a bookmark and 1 or 2 posies. So that's 3 things included in that. And I'll show you this as well. This is a very old vintage book that was covered in silk, and then I just did the posy. This has been with me for years and years. It's a little bit dated, but it's still going strong. It goes to show you that these flowers, they get crushed a little bit, but that's using a lot of bits and pieces and sparkly bits. Some things have dropped off, but I really don't mind that. That's the great thing about old and vintage. If it's losing a little bit, if it's a bit stained, it doesn't really matter because it looks more charming. And there is just so much you can do with that. So I hope I've given you lots of ideas. We do have a Facebook page and we have an Instagram page, and we're pretty much on it all the time. So if you want to message on that, or you want to ring us or email us, whichever way you want to get through to us, we'll answer your questions. We'll help you any way we can. We have a huge range of these flowers, from the velvet rose to the hydrangeas to the posies, to just about anything. So I hope today's class has helped you understand how you can do these sweet little posies. Thank you so much.